Well,
We were both like, weren't we supposed to
I was doomed to the airlock, okay? And you know, it's really funny. When her character died on the show, you kept saying, and I don't think you knew that, but you were like, God, I wish I was a Cylon.
Oh, I didn't know until I was long dead and just coming back as, some sort of fantasy sequence. I had no idea I was going to come back as a Cylon.
But
or the fifth
she was
Cylon.
praying. She was praying. And the funny part is everybody in that show obviously prays that when they die that they're a Cylon so that you can come back.
So you never die.
And we're all praying that, if we're Cylons, we could actually be on Capricorn.
Here's the place to start with, because when you're working on a show like Alaskan and more basically has the grand plan, we have a plan, blah, 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 but the whole who are the final five, was there a period where each of you were saying to yourself, okay, at some point they're going to deliver a script to me and I'm going to find out that I'm the poster? At some point, was that going through each of your minds?
I think so. Nobody knew what was going on, and everybody knew something was going to happen to somebody or lots of people at some point. So everybody, whenever the scripts were issued, they'd rush to their scripts and like flip through the pages to their scenes to see A, if they were killed, B, if they were one of the Cylons, or C, if they, just carried on normally. And there was a lot of concern and questions and interest about what was going to happen to who and when.
You never got the big call from the head office when Ron Moore gets on the phone to tell you that your character may be,
Yeah, I got it.
And they called you before you just got the script, right?
When I was going to die.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that was a really bad call.
Right.
That was not a good call. That was so hard to hear. And I was so surprised. It was a funny story because I'm like, hi, Ron, hi, David. They're on conference and I was just so happy to hear from them. And when will I ever learn when the producers call you at home, it's never good news. So I was like, wow. And I knew I had these, this scene with Dean Stockwell, this scene, where I teach him the swirl. And it was all about, look, I'm not in my 20s, I'm not doing any nudity, this is with Dean Stockwell, this is not about a beautiful image, this is Ellen wanting to break his neck. And it was all about my wardrobe and when I felt comfortable, and they were very gracious and accommodating, and this is wonderful. I had also had an accident on my face, and Ellen's character was all about perfection and meticulous, her looks were perfect. And I had this huge gaping hole in my face because I'd been hit by something, and it was horrendous. So I had to tell them the left side of my face looked like it'd been through a meat grinder. And that I wasn't going to be naked and that I needed to be clothed. And they were very, are you okay? Don't worry about it. And I said, you're just the greatest producers in the world. I love you so much. I am the luckiest actress. I am so grateful to be part of this family. I'm just holding in my tears, just of gratitude. And there's a silence. And instantly this sickness in my stomach starts to churn. I'm thinking, oh no. And they're like, you have been so wonderful on the show. And I'm like, oh. And we are so lucky to have had you. And I'm speaking in past tense. And I'm starting to swoon. This was Ron. David was very quiet. And my eyes are just, and they said, blah, blah, fabulous, wonderful, blah, 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 so grateful, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have to kill you off. In the third episode. I just lost it. I started bawling. I couldn't keep it. I was doing something wrong. And every actor's nightmare, and you just don't expect it. Like, you're going along fine, and then, boom, you're out there, like, boom, you get blown up, boom, and that...
They never gave you a hint.
Nope.
That you might be coming back.
No, but then I was a dog. I called Ron Moore almost every 2 weeks saying, hi. I know you're done with me, but I'm not done with you, and I'm not done with Ellen, and I just want to let you know I'm available to come back, you know, torment my husband, come on. And they did, they kept writing me in the fantasy sequences. And then the final phone call was something I never thought I'd ever get, which was Ron saying, you know, we've just pitched a storyline that features your character heavily. And I'm like, wow. But it never occurred to me that since the end of the show, I didn't think I was going to come back as anything other than a big fantasy sequence, not the fifth Cylon.
You remember the really nice thing you said after the big call from Ron, and I remember talking to you, and do you remember what you said?
No.
I'm dying, but so are you, probably. And a lot of other actors on this show are going down, too. Remember? Yes. I'm telling you, with the fear of God and all of it. I've been told that,
I have no memory of that.
when I survived the next season, I went, oh,
I'm so sorry.
it's wrong, you know.
That was so Ellen of me. Wow.
I'm dying and I'm taking off.
You're coming down with me. I'm not going alone.
Richard, I want to talk to you about the original series. Getting involved in a production like that, and so soon on the heels of Star Wars, and when you're in the casting process, after looking at space opera, ragtag fleet, what's going through your head as you're reading through these scripts for the first time, looking at the character of Apollo and saying, okay, this is something I think I can do, this is something I might be able to do, I have no idea what's going on. What was going through your head for the whole process?
Are they picking us to these things, by the way?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Can you hear me? You can all hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I told this one before, but I mean, I got cast at the end because I actually turned down the audition for the show. So basically, they went and saw every actor in Hollywood because everybody wanted to be on the show. It was the biggest, most expensive production in TV history. And I turned it down because I was a very idealistic actor who wanted to act. And my thought was, this is going to be a lot of running around, shooting people, but I wasn't going to get a chance to do something meaningful and fulfilling as an actor, and so I turned it down. And of course, we've all learned that when you turn it down, they want you, and it's, when you give it away, it comes back. And so